Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Jesus.
All right, let's begin. I had a belch.
Yeah, you had a belch. It's all
Sometimes
natural.
you
It's
gotta-
all just, it's all functioning. That's functions of the body, You have to accept that,
I'm the one accepting it, but I did it, and then you were like, Jesus Christ.
Well,
You're the one who's
I'm
not
a
accepting it.
I'm a free speech absolutist, I can say whatever I want about you, Belch.
But nobody
And
can
nobody
belch.
can, and you can't complain about it by you going like, "Oh, why did you say that? Did you talk about it?"
Do you think we can fight for free belching?
free belching?
Like,
Yeah,
don't be ashamed of your belching anymore.
Yeah, and I'll be fighting for the fact that I'll point it out, Belching acceptance movement, is that what you're trying to do?
Why do you have to be so antagonistic all the time?
I don't know, because it's comedy, I think.
I'm like, let's free the belch, and you're like, I'm gonna oppose.
Because it's, opposite attracting, sort of thing. That's why we have this podcast,
That's why we have such a strong chemistry on the podcast.
Yeah, people
Because
ship us all the
I'm
time.
over here and I'm like, I think Dwight's awesome, and you're over there like, I think Dwight is more awesome.
Yeah, exactly. There was
I'm like, nobody can be a 10 out of 10, and you're like, any movie I like is a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. How do you make a Rule 34 of us, when there's only disembodied voices? There's no pictures of us anymore.
People find a way all the time, man.
True.
Are you kidding? They just design somebody that kind of fits the voice a bit, and then they make them fuck. It's really not that hard.
It would be interesting to see what people would
I would
make.
volunteer to do it, but I already know what both of us look like. So
True, so
I'm
you're biased. Yeah, you make yourself look like, a Gaston, as type of character, which you are in real life already. So,
No,
you
now
make
you're
me-
poisoning the well, because
But-
now immediately, whoever could have just drawn it, you said I look like that in real life, and then bam, they're like, well, now I have to draw Gaston.
And I look like Neelix, in
You
real
look like
life.
Gaston's weird little friend,
Yeah,
who was played by Josh Gad in the live-action
it?
movie.
that's
Yes,
cool.
he was played by Josh Gad. You remember his weird little friend?
I haven't watched the real life Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, but I mean,
you
you
know?
remember his weird little friend in the animated one?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I haven't watched that in a while. I would have to
His
Google
weird
that,
little
which
friend
I
that
don't
looks like
play,
a weird little, like, prairie dog. He's like a rodent. He's, like, smaller than a capybara.
Now I have to look it up because I
Yeah,
don't,
go for
it. Beauty and the Best.
Gaston's friend. Gaston's little friend.
Gaston's
From the bar that he hangs out in.
gay. It was the second thing.
Yes,
was like
because in the
gay.
live action film, they also made him gay.
Oh yeah, he's
Remember?
just like a little scrawny little guy.
He's played by Josh Gad in the live action film, and then also they made a big deal of being like, yeah, we got a gay character in this one. It's Gaston's weird little friend.
and he's evil. But yeah.
I hope somebody makes a live action version of our podcast, like a Disney live action version,
Disney live action
where it kind of sucks, and you're kind of like, why'd they make this?
But they may, but that maybe they'll break because we don't put much effort into this already. So maybe it will be better, honestly.
Maybe we could have Awkwafina in it.
I guess.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Not playing either of us. Maybe we have like a talking microphone friend
Talking, yeah, like
that we
yeah,
record into, and they're played by Awkwafina.
Do we each have? Because we both have different setups, so wouldn't we have two characters?
No, in
two
the live
microphone-
action version, we record in the same environment.
Oh, so they did. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, that makes it a little easier because that would have been like I thought we could have done like a thing where I have my microphone and you have your microphone.
No, it'll be me,
they're-
you, and the microphone is gay.
And then we bring the microphones together and they fall in love, And they create, they have like a, it's a beautiful story of.
it might be.
like-
It's like an okay subplot, but I don't think that's the main narrative.
No, definitely. The main narrative is I don't know what it would be. Honestly, us trying to
maybe it's sort of Wayne's Worldy. Like some corporate suit comes along, tries to like buy our podcast, make us big names, but it ruins the heart of the show. You know.
I don't know what the heart of the show
tearing
is.
us apart. It starts like tearing us apart as we become more commercial. You know,
we want more money. We get greedy. They're trying to the suit is trying to put us against each other too. They're like, you know, Ben
they're
is
trying
like,
to replace me.
Ben
He's
is
trying to convince you to vote me out of the gig.
yeah. I want to replace Ben with this dog, with golden retriever.
I'm the one who's really anti-commercialism. So they're like, we need you to shout out Pepsi in this episode,
and
I'm
stand
like,
up.
I don't want to shout out Pepsi. I want to shout out Dr. Pepper. And he's like, we don't have Dr. Pepper. We have Pepsi. Just take it or leave it. And I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm like, okay, man, I'll do your job. And then on the episode, I'm like, I want to give a shout out to Pepsi, the best putrid water you could ever drink.
Nice. And then they kick you off the show.
Well,
and
no,
then
I was going to say they look at the contract and they're like, we need to get rid of this Ben guy. He's ruining our money-making scheme. But it's written into their contract that if to get one of them out, the other one also has to vote for them to leave. And that's why they're like, we need to convince Max.
Yeah. And then, I just do it. Yeah. I get sold out immediately.
They're just Ben, and you're like,
I'll get it.
Yeah, let's vote.
It's mine.
Like, we didn't even finish our sentence. No, let's get rid of him.
I'll just liquidate the entire podcast.
You're like, replace him with a dog for all I care. I don't care.
Replace me with a dog. I don't care.
Replace me with a dog. Okay. You want me to vote myself out? I'll do it. For approval, if you approve of me.
If you approve
you give me attention, I'll do it, please.
Yeah, please,
So I get voted out of the podcast. Now they own Dead Ensigns.
And
on top of that, they own our friend Mike, the microphone.
Yeah.
Played by Awkwafina.
And they throw him into a scrapyard, and he lives there. And he has all the... he's like a little toaster, but a microphone, He falls into a machine that turns into a cube, kills him.
That's what eventually happens. They keep Mike the microphone around.
Mm-hmm.
But then he finds out their scheme of money making. He's going to tell, so they throw him into a scrapyard. They throw him into a trash compactor, and I hear him. I'm walking by the junkyard because I'm unhoused.
Yeah, exactly. You're home.
I got kicked out of the podcast, and I hear Awkwafina, and I'm like, Mike, jump the fence, and he's about to be crushed, and I gotta save him from the trash compactor. And I'm like, Mike, what happened? And he tells me, Awkwafina tells me what happens.
Yeah, what happened? So they got rid of everybody. They replaced even the microphone. Yeah, they removed the. So
that's what happens. I'm like, we gotta go convince Max to get take the podcast away from them so we can keep doing it back the way we used to. And then I turn up and I'm like, where's Max? And that way he's like, he got rid of himself. We own it entirely now. And, I'm like, well.
And then you come to me and you go, we need to bring the podcast back. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll do whatever you want. And that is the story of how we are.
And then you just have to wait for season 2, I guess, of this movie. We do movies in seasons now for Dead Ensigns. Like, that's the new thing that we're
This is the part I didn't get to, is that's our origin story. That's how we have Dead Ensigns. Because the other podcast is still going. I don't want to name names, but let's just say they replaced us with a very big, very influential guy. First name Joe.
Yeah.
And they kicked us out of the show. The ironic thing is that our show was called The Joe Rogan Experience before he was on it. Which I still don't really know how we got to that name, but
Yeah,
maybe someday we'll remember.
We had a name generator. We generated the first name and then the last.
It's like how Donald Glover got the name Childish Gambino.
Yeah, because we were just like, we made the podcast and we didn't realize that there was already a person
we didn't know Joe Rogan because he's not big in the UK. He's like a bigger American star, reality star.
Yeah, exactly.
Host or whatever, MMA guy, whatever he is. Over here in the UK, we didn't know who Joe Rogan was. We were just like, that's a funny name. Could you imagine if a guy was called Joe Rogan?
Yeah, exactly. But,
let's call our show The Joe Rogan Experience. And people will be like, where's Joe Rogan? And we're like, who?
Yeah, it just sounds cool, right? But, Anyway, welcome everybody to Dead Ensigns. The Joe Rogan Experience, 2.
No, but they told us we're not allowed to use that.
We can't just say, you just can't take our property and increment a number at the end of it, like a username, okay? That's not how it works.
This isn't Nirvana, the band, the show, man. You're not allowed to just call it the name X.
The number, welcome to our podcast number 2, Joe Rogan Show. This is me, Max, and this is Ben. And it's our mics. Mike? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, well, he died.
Oh, so this is...
That's why usually
Mike
you would be
2.
able to hear Awkwafina chime in and say something.
We couldn't find another, conscious, what's it called? Inanimate object, to be our mic, it's one of a kind, you could say. And
yeah, that's the embellishment in the film, is that in the film I save him, but in reality I wasn't able to save him.
Out of guilt, you included it. You couldn't. It
was like an ideal reality. I was trying. It was wish fulfillment because I always beat myself up about the fact that I wasn't able to save.
You were so close.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, why would I be walking next to a junkyard? I didn't even know what was happening.
Okay.
I was like,
you were just unhoused, but you weren't next to a junkyard.
Exactly. When I found out it happened, I was like, I wish I could have been there to save him from the trash compactor.
I'm going to fulfill this by making a movie.
Simply because I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I should have put more effort into finding Mike.
I've grown a lot, and I've learned to forgive myself. And now I don't even really think of him.
You moved on quite swiftly afterwards. After creating this fake scenario where you save Mike,
Well, that helped me heal. It helped me heal. It helped me. By the way, my name is Ben. The host of Dead Ensigns, heal. This is Max.
Yeah, that's
the other
me.
host Alpha, and I'm host
Omega.
A, and he's host Alpha.
Oh, okay.
I'm
you
host
gonna be
1,
like Omega or something like that. You'll be the
the Alpha and the Omega.
Yeah, Alpha and Omega.
Beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Why am I the end?
I don't know. It's also the end is honestly very
I'm the one that
important.
does the countdown. I should be I'm the beginning.
True. All right, then be Alpha, and I'll be Omega.
You're the last
I'll be
one,
the Omega man.
You're the second one to say bye at the end.
And I'm also the one editing the podcast, so I'm the only one listening to it at the end.
But I'm the one uploading it, so I'm the one who touches everything last.
So you'll be Omega then.
Fuck. I guess I'm the Alpha and the Omega. And you're all of the letters in between.
I'm the ghost of the presents. Is that what you're saying? You're the past, the Christmas past, and the future, right? Yeah, I don't even remember what the presents does in the Christmas.
He shows him Tiny Tim. He shows him his house, his employee's house, and Tiny Tim and everything. And then in the future, he's like, what of Tiny Tim? And then he's like, Tiny Tim ate shit. Because he has some kind of horrid disease.
Yeah, he couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
to deal with it. He would probably still die.
Boy.
If you look at the Christmas Carol, like the original Christmas Carol, it's like Victorian times or whatever. Like you probably couldn't deal with any sort of disease around that time.
Yeah. Well, but at the same time, his disease was being too cold.
Oh, true.
You know?
Yeah. So they
Like,
took
he
the
just
coins.
He was a
that
little
the-
more sensitive to being cold than
Yeah.
everybody else. So if he was just a bit warmer, he would have been fine.
The
they didn't
Scrooge
know that
gave
back then.
his dad, the coins, and he took the coins and threw them in the furnace to
to
get more
fuel
heat
the fire.
to fuel the fire.
Fuel the fire.
Thank
I
you,
think that's
sir.
what Charles Dickens was going for.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite Dickens?
I don't know. Are there many out there, or is it just Charles Dickens?
There's many. No, I meant, what's your favorite Charles Dickens tale?
I don't know.
You don't have one?
No, I don't have one. I was thinking, because if you were going to ask me what's my favorite Dick, then I would say Riddick from the Riddick movies, because he's called Richard, Richard B. Riddick. That's what his name is.
This is why humanity is falling. I asked him what's his favorite classic tale by Charles Dickens. And he's like, did somebody say Riddick, Chronicles of?
Yeah, and I was thinking,
starring
immediately thought about
Vin Diesel.
Awesome
Vin
he's
Diesel.
so awesome in that movie.
I'm like, tell me, dude, what do you think of Oliver Twist? And you're like, Hobbs and Shaw coming in?
I'm the
Fast and
you're the
Furious
guy.
spin-off starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Jason Statham.
You're it's like the boomer comic. You're the one looking at me. I've got a book in my hands. Where's the Riddick in this?
You're doing the classic thing where you've got a book, but inside of the book is like instead of a magazine, it's like an open DVD case of Fast and Furious 4.
Fast and Furious 4.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was like, great. Have you heard of Great Expectations? And he's like, I tell you what, I've got great expectations for the next entry in the DC universe.
What's the next entry in the DC universe anyway?
The Superman film, I think.
Oh yeah, it's
With
like a new
Crypto.
Superman too, right?
They're putting Crypto in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Crypto the Super Dog. You know Crypto?
No, I don't know Crypto.
You don't know about
Is
Superman's
he from
dog,
Krypton?
Crypto?
Is he from
No,
Krypton,
I think
though?
he's just a super dog.
Oh, okay. Does he also? Okay, I don't.
I don't know
gonna
anything
interv-
about Crypto. I
don't know
wouldn't- I
anything
can't
about
tell you anything more than he is a
DC.
dog.
Crypto
me
is a
find
dog. That sounds.
Crypto the super dog.
It sounds like something ChatGPT would tell you, and you'll be happy with the answer. Crypto is a dog.
Crypto is he's a dog. Crypto has appeared in most continuities. Crypto is Superman's pet dog, usually depicted as a white dog.
Doesn't he fly though?
Yeah, because he's a super dog.
But is there like a source to his power, or is he
That's what
literally
I'm trying to
just a
find
super
out.
dog? He's a.
So it leads to the emergence of an analogous species of... Wait, what?
Okay, so he is an alien then.
They are domestic companion animals as they are on Earth. As explained in his first appearance, Crypto is originally the dog of toddler Kal-El while they are on Krypton.
So it is literally from Krypton.
It's a Krypton
So not
dog.
only are Kryptonians look like humans, they also have literal dogs that also look like literal dogs. Okay.
This shit's so
Earth
stupid,
dog?
man. I'm going to a section on this Wikipedia page. The header is Crypto and Bibbo. I'm done with reading this. I don't want to learn about Crypto.
Bibbo is a
and
strong
Bibbo.
name though.
Bibbo, the wonder squirrel. Weasel, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, I think about getting into aliens. Like now. Yeah. I was
I
thinking
mean,
like
I'm looking
watching
at you. I'm looking at
yeah.
your new profile picture on Discord. Is a gray alien.
Yeah,
So-
I've watched a movie with
Tell us
called
about the
Communion with Christopher Walken, and I'm all in on aliens now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you would make a good ancient aliens guy. You have the vibe of somebody that you would talk to for like an hour who seems normal, and then they inevitably bring up the pyramids and stuff, you know, and how they were actually... It doesn't make sense why three different
could make-
cultures across the world all created very similar looking buildings.
well, I work really hard on that sort of vibe, to radiate.
That's
that
good. Well,
light.
you need to put the nail in the coffin and just go all in now, right?
Yeah, I'm
An
gonna
alien
get the "I Want to Believe" poster. I really need to get that. You know, with the X-Files poster.
That's
with,
like that's like poser shit, though, right?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
That
It's like,
says more about being like I'm ironic more
I'm
than
putting
anything.
up a shield of irony. You know,
Instead of one that says I want to believe, you just need one that says I do believe fervently.
what I do is I take the "I Want to Believe" poster and then I cross out the flying saucer on it and I draw the one that I believe that exists. That looks like a
flying saucer.
like a giant squid, you know, or something, you know.
It's the best you got. It looks like a giant squid.
Yeah,
I mean, those exist though.
those exist. Where?
The giant squid in the ocean. They
didn't
found
know
them.
that. I didn't know that.
For a long time, they were like the giant squid is a mythical creature, and then they found it. There were giant squids.
I think you're destroying my alien fantasy. I might stop believing in aliens now that you told me this piece of information.
Well, I'm sorry.
I
didn't want that to happen.
Do you ever think what you're saying? I don't think you do.
You're the one that mentioned the giant squid, bro.
You were immediately on it to squish.
If anything, I've saved you embarrassment.
And you're calling me confrontational, and then you do this to me.
I've saved you. I've just saved you the embarrassment of. Could you imagine if you're at a party, you're just about to show off, I'm the ancient aliens guy now. I'm the aliens guy, and you bring it up, and the first thing you say is giant. Aliens are giant squids, and they're like, no, giant squids are real. They're in the ocean, and you're like, fuck. I mean,
it's like when now looking at my like pushpin board that I have, the giant squid is in the middle. It connects everything, and now all of that falls apart.
What I want you to do. Okay,
it doesn't have it has no structure. It doesn't have the spine of this corkboard. You know.
Here's what I want you to do. Okay, here's what I want you to do.
Yeah,
we need to stand up. All right.
Yeah,
grab a
I'm
Sharpie pen. Walk over to your giant squid in the center of your board.
Yeah.
All right.
Board. Okay.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna write octopus on it.
Oh. Okay.
Kraken. The Kraken.
Yeah.
Because we don't have giant octopus. They can get kind of big, but we don't have a giant one.
And that's gonna hold it all together.
Yep.
Like a giant octopus, it's gonna extend its arm.
It's got more legs.
Arms.
It's got more tentacles. Be even better at holding things together.
True. And more intelligent, you would think.
More intelligent as well.
More handsome.
More is in line with why we haven't found one, because they're so smart. And the aliens.
They build cities and structures under the ocean.
They probably do, deep in the Marianas Trench, right at the bottom. They probably do.
Yeah, exactly. And
there's probably some awesome stuff going on down there.
Yeah, they're partying all the time. They take all the trash that we throw down to the ocean. They build cities out of them. The ironic thing is that the more we pollute the ocean, the stronger they get. You know,
they're building weapons.
They build weapons to kill us. They build
weapons out of our forever chemicals.
Exactly.
And materials.
They put the thing is that James Cameron knows all about this because he saw it. He went down to the Mariana Trench, and he's just refusing. He's their agent now. That's why he makes the Avatar movies. You know,
everybody's gonna want to go down there. He'd be like, "Show them to us. We'll kill them," but he doesn't want us to kill them.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's creating avatars as like to put wool over eyes.
That is why he's creating avatars.
They're like, this is what aliens are, but in reality, they're on Earth already.
They're blue like the water.
They're blue like the water. It's a bit.
Tell me more about Communion.
Tell me about Communion. It's a great movie. It's a great movie about being abducted by having experiences of being abducted by aliens and them doing stuff to you and probing you too. Why is that a thing? Why would they probe us? Why would they probe our anuses specifically? This movie is very...
Well, because that's how they would... because they can't like open us up and kill us.
True, because they do
But
like.
if they're trying to find out inside of us, would need to probe us.
But they can go through the mouth too, and a lot of the times.
But that's also probing.
Yeah, no, but it's specifically alien.
They would
probing.
need to do both ends.
Probing.
They would need to do both ends.
But this movie doesn't get into that. They just got a little device comes out of a wall, and they just shove it in him, you know, and he goes, I will kill you."
Well, I guess if they do the anal probing, they can still ask you questions at the same time.
It doesn't seem like they understand. That doesn't seem in this movie specifically, which is apparently based on like a real experience the writer of this movie had. You know, it doesn't seem like they were very interested in even asking any sort of questions of Christopher Walken. And I believe like Christopher Walken is one of the people that you could probably talk to him for hours and he would just not stop talking, you know?
Was that movie Fire in the Sky? That was also the one with the very famous abduction scene.
It is. Yeah, the one that it's like people say it's boring, and then there's the one scene of the
It
abduction
is a
scene
very
that's scary.
boring movie. It is a very boring, not very good movie, and then the last 10 minutes is showing the abduction scene, and it's like, well, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah, they have in
abducted
Communion. They
and
have little guys, and they kind of look like Ewoks without the fur on them, and they're blue. Yeah, and they have like grays, but they're not gray. They're like skin colored, you know.
They're pinks.
Yeah, they're pinko bastards.
They're pinkos. Yeah.
But yeah, and it's a great little movie. I really like. It does. You can see like reading even about the movie that they just kind of let Christopher Walken do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of really cool little performances from him.
Have fun with it, man.
He just has fun, and it's pretty funny because like the greys that are in this movie are very kind of generic looking and very like, you know. And apparently for the scene where he sees one for the first time, he just like smirks and laughs basically, and they keep it in the movie. Basically, they keep that scene in the movie of him like they literally take the little puppet and they like, you know the way where they like kind of look from behind a corner or something. They just see him. That's where it looks like, and you could see him just kind of look at it and just like smirk and burst with like a chuckle, you know, and then he and then he resets into like a straight face, you know. But they keep it in the movie, and it does play pretty well into the movie because it makes the entire experience a lot creepier, you know. But yeah, it's a movie worth a watch for the performance of Christopher Walken. And I was thinking, I need to watch more Christopher Walken after watching this movie.
More Christopher plural, more Christopher Walkens.
Walkens, yes. So but yeah, he's really good. And you know that's why. And now I'm gonna get into aliens. You know, I want them to probe me. They want me. Maybe they'll tell me something. They'll go like, "Oof," you know.
They're not gonna get. If you want it too much, they're not gonna give it to you.
Do you think now they're not gonna see like cancer, fourth stage cancer? They'll be like, "Ah."
No, but it's one of those things where it's like they don't want you to want it.
Oh, that's true.
They don't want you to want to be probed.
But I'm saying ironically for the comedy, you know. So now they're gonna listen to it. They're gonna pick up the podcast on their listening devices.
Oh, so what you're saying is that it's a double bluff.
Yes, it's a double.
You're saying I really want to be probed.
Yes,
because you don't want them to think you want to be probed.
They pick up all the like sub frequencies in my voice.
They're like, he's probably only saying that because he doesn't want us to probe him. Let's probe him anyway.
Let's probe him, and you know, it'll be easy because we're in the UK and they'd never sight any UFOs above the UK, so it'll be easy. So it's all the clouds. It's raining and cloudy all the time, you know. So it's easy to hide.
Yeah, we can't see him, man.
Yeah,
this is a damn shame.
But yeah, would you like to get probed, Ben?
No.
Okay. Well,
I
can't tell. They can tell if you're bluffing or not.
I don't have any interest in it.
Mm-hmm. You think we're
It's
alone
not-
in
it's
the
not for
universe?
me.
We're special?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think so.
I think Krypton is out there with
With
people
their
that look
super
exactly
dogs.
like Earth people, and also dogs that look exactly like
It
their
must be
dogs.
so awesome to come from a planet where you're like kind of strong, but so is everybody, and then you come to a planet, first of all, where everybody is immensely weaker than you,
Yes.
and also they have the kind of sun that actually makes you even stronger
Yeah,
than you were before.
exactly. It's
That
pretty,
must feel so awesome. That must be the best feeling in the world.
honestly, and also they kind of look
The
like you
universe.
look exactly like them, so
And
you
you
don't have
look
to really
exactly
try
like
to
them.
hide the fact that you're an alien, right?
God damn, that must be so awesome. That must be the greatest feeling in the world. It's a wonder Superman isn't like evil,
Mm-hmm.
because I would be in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
I'd be
'cause
like, awesome.
Good
You're
thing
all
that you
ants
landed
to
in
me.
America and not in the Soviet Union. You know?
Because when
then he would
he
be
does
evil.
go into Russia, they capture him and they
Yeah,
the KGB torture him into being a Russian superpowers thing. right?
exactly. You know,
Isn't that something that happens in a comic? I haven't read it.
because he got found. Because in America he got found by a bunch of farmers,
Mond,
sold to the
Pa,
earth.
Kent. Yeah.
Sold to the earth sort of people in
Nice,
the Soviet
God-fearing
Union. He got found
Americans.
by a bunch of brainwashed,
Commies.
farmers or whatever, and they were like, KGB, take this baby.
Yeah,
Immediately.
here's an alien baby KGB.
Mm-hmm.
This one's for you, Putin.
But yeah, exactly.
This one's
but
for you,
good-
Gorbachev.
It's a good thing that he had all of those American values,
Yeah.
put into him immediately.
And that means he'll save everybody.
Yeah.
All over.
But
whoever needs
talking about Superman, Tulsa King.
Man, I didn't even get to talk about the shit I did this week. What the fuck?
Oh no, we have to get to Tulsa King at some point.
Well, all right, fine.
Why do you
guess you don't wanna
dictate
hear
and
about
suddenly
my-
you dictate when we move on to bits?
To say, I guess you
Uh,
don't want to hear about my awesome thoughts on killer clowns from outer space.
Oh, watched it? I watched it too. So we can talk about it.
It's not very good.
It's not very good.
It's kind of boring, mostly.
It's like okay. Like I thought it was going to be worse when I watched it.
It's more reserved than I had hoped
yes.
it would be.
And I kind of like the message, like a little bit, the idea of like, people sometimes can be crazy and they, but you kind of have to believe people sometimes when they're crazy, sort of thing.
It's like an anti-boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, always,
Uh,
even, and no matter how many times he cries wolf, you should believe him.
Yeah, exactly, Who would get clowns? How dare they, you're wasting my time. I'm doing important business in a police station, which is sitting at my desk, not doing anything.
I was hoping it'd be more like a trauma movie, I guess.
No, it wasn't really.
I was hoping it'd be kind of really over the top and crazy, but it was like
Pretty straight.
not that crazy. It was just kind of like whatever. It was mostly just boring.
Like
Yeah, cool outfits, I guess. The clowns
design.
themselves
And
look kind of cool, I guess.
sets were pretty cool with the alien ship, circus
Yeah.
ship that they had, and stuff like that. And they're like,
and then
what?
at the end, they become a throuple, the main characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do actually. Yeah, but but then they defeat them quite like as soon as like people realize what's going on and they believe what's happening, they kind of easily defeat them. Honestly, which is that's not my aliens. I like my aliens that are strong.
I like my aliens drippy, bruh. Anyway, Tulsa King, Season 2, Episode 7.
Yeah.
It's all kicking off now.
It's all
Everything's about to go to fucking 11.
The stratosphere.
Everything is
and
going to go to shit
Tyson's
now.
dad is alive, which I was
told
like,
you.
I rolled my eyes
Told
really
you, I
hard
was like,
at that.
his ass is not going to die.
Because the reason why he didn't die is because he was only halfway about to enter the car that
The
turned
bomb went
into
off early.
a fucking flaming husk, next to him.
Yeah, so it blew him away. It blew
yeah, it
because he was
blew-
only
yeah,
half
exactly.
in.
It's like-
it blew up
it's-
and he went, whoa!
It's like, yeah, exactly.
Landed
It's
in
like
the
when you
neighbor's garden.
when you drive a car, you don't want to use seatbelts because you want to get thrown clear when you hit something. Don't do that.
Exactly.
That instance doesn't believe that. It was for a joke. But yeah, so...
Or do we? Happy Halloween.
It's spooky. Don't use your seatbelt. I'm dressed up as a seatbelt. Woo!
Tyson is on a warpath now. He really wants to. He believes intently that it was Bevel Aqua that did it, and he wants to get revenge by shooting him. I guess at some point. But
on his own.
Unfortunately, he's going around. He's trying to find out. He gets another car from the dealership. He goes and talks to his dad a little bit, and he's like, "I'm gonna go make things right," even though everybody is saying, "Don't."
Mm-hmm.
But and that's also the journey he's on. He's on a bad path, and people are trying to pull him away. But he's too headstrong.
He's a rogue agent. But another thing that he said to Dwight was, "I didn't sign up for this," and then Dwight goes, "What the fuck did you think you were signing up for?"
But then he says, "I thought I was signing up to become like you."
Yeah, which doesn't make sense to me.
And it's like it sounds like that's what you.
Yeah.
So this is what you want then? Because I guess.
Because I know what
he's deviating now. He's not becoming like Dwight. He's becoming his idea of what Dwight is, which is a strong guy who's gonna take no shit from anybody and
that doesn't listen to
kill anybody who crosses him.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't listen to anybody trying to be like, "Don't murder anybody. Murdering sucks. You don't want to do it. Trust me. Trust us. I've murdered. Murdering is bad." He doesn't want to listen. He wants to go and kill. And then at the end of the episode, he gets what he wants. He goes to Bevel Aqua's. He goes to Bevel Aqua's, and a guy comes out and starts shooting him. He shoots back. He hits him. He drives into a big rock. And then, the end of the episode. Tyson will probably shoot him or something at the beginning.
They just started like a turf war, basically.
Yeah, everything's fucked now. That's gonna be the next big thing. Is Dwight is gonna have to make a very hard decision between continuing to support Tyson or making things right.
Yeah, but Valakwa is gonna be like, well, kill Tyson. Yeah, get rid of him.
He did that of his own volition. Well, you know what you do to.
Yeah, rogue agents.
Members who don't listen to the boss, right?
Mm-hmm. You
put them out.
You pour them and throw them into the river with.
You can make them sleep with the fishes.
Give
them a nice new pair of concrete shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was very weird. Like the Tyson in general, it's like. They had the hospital scene, and his dad like wakes up 2 seconds afterwards, and he's like,
he calls Dwight, and he's like, "Where's my son?" And then Dwight is like, "Whoops."
Not only that, he also says he told me a bunch of weird shit while I was into the coma, and that was really weird.
He wasn't in a coma.
He was like
he was sedated. He was sedated.
But it was like he still heard what he was.
Yeah, but they set that up because when Tyson is talking to him, he starts by saying the doctor said you can still hear what I'm saying.
Yes, exactly.
So I'll say it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So then way, when he wakes up and he remembers everything that he was told while he was sedated, it makes sense. You can go, okay.
He picks up his phone and he's like, please pick up the phone and don't go on a warpath,
I guess he tried to call Tyson, and then he was like, well, I guess I'll call Dwight.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is
man
that, like...
who took my son from me.
The thing is that Dwight, like he doesn't start with, like, oh, your dad's awake, he told me to call you because you're not picking up, Like, he's like, don't do it.
It doesn't have anything to do with his dad being awake or not.
Yeah, I know that
he knows his dad isn't in a coma or anything. He knows that already. They say they're like he's
like
fine.
1
he's
week
just
recovery.
They're like he'll be home in like a week, which is even more like, man, you're really gonna kill a guy? I guess it's the principle of the matter at the end of the day, and that's why he's there. So even if Dwight phoned him up and was like, your dad is awake, he'd be like, awesome, tell him I'll be home for breakfast.
Yeah. He could have said, like, if you fucking go through with this, you're on your own. And I feel like maybe that would have actually, like, could have stopped him,
I think he should. I don't think anything was gonna stop him.
Okay. Well,
I don't think anything realistically he could have said would have stopped in that moment, especially because
he gets
the
engaged.
guy was the guy is coming down the hill anyway.
It was pretty funny. They were like jousting with
bang,
guns.
Bang, 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 bang. They were. Yeah.
The guy was driving a car, shooting from the window, open, and then Tyson just hits him, and then the guy
gets a lucky shot into the shoulder,
perfectly into the shoulder. The classic action hero injury to get, you know. But do you think he's gonna die? He's dead from hitting that rock, or is Tyson gonna have to finish him off?
I think Tyson might finish because the thing he came there for Bevilacqua, didn't he?
Yeah, I guess.
So I feel like maybe the next
ballsy,
episode,
honestly.
Next episode, he's gonna try. It's gonna be like Card Counter, where he's gonna send a picture of Bevilacqua's front door to Dwight, and Dwight is just gonna be like, "Fuck." That kid's dead.
Yeah.
He's basically already dead.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But yeah, I just don't know how this is gonna get fucking like fixed. Because I thought maybe another thing that we kind of discover gets revealed in this episode is the fact that the white sedan or the Prius or whatever.
Prius was Thresher's. Thresher's Chinese compatriots.
Yeah, the triad was.
I'd like to say I find it funny that they hired all these like Chinese workers and then they gave them like the big cone hats.
Yes, of course. So they're
all from China. They're like, well, these are probably the most comfortable with these hats. I guess.
Exactly. They work like, in a greenhouse to not even a fucking field, so.
They don't just give them, like, some caps or anything. They're like, let's make them feel at home, I guess.
Yeah.
Give them some stereotypical hats.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah.
I bet those hats are kind of awesome, feel awesome to wear, though. I've never worn a hat like that, but I bet wearing that kind of hat does feel kind of awesome.
Honestly, it provides shade, from the sun. Exactly. That's the point. It's hot. Is Tulsa hot? I guess, maybe. So. But... another thing that like
Oklahoma,
the guy, the triad guy goes like, with all the thing with like half measures and stuff, they really fucked up, honestly. Like this was like
a bit of a half measure.
Really shitty. They were following him, and clearly, unless their thing was like, oh, we're gonna start a war, which is what they kind of. But I don't think their plan was to do let's start a.
No, they wanted to kill. They wanted to kill Dwight.
Right,
First
exactly.
of all, and they wanted to kill Dwight, but they didn't know who Dwight was. They just knew his car. So the guys just were like, "I guess this old black man and this young black man are Dwight and his friend. Let's put a bomb on the car." And then it goes off. They say explicitly the bomb malfunctioned
was
and went
on
off
the
early.
news and stuff. Like it was.
Yeah, but also they literally don't know he existed. The fucking. From Thresher is just like, I can't stand this. The white guy and his friend is like, I'm gonna get him a little present. I'm gonna kill this guy for him.
I think it was more like, I want to get Thresher to focus on the.
I know. I'm making a joke.
But
and then they fucked it up, and now he's like, whoops. But he's still like, don't worry, we'll handle it. So who knows?
The really cool thing that Thresher says at the triad guy goes, enough of this fortune cookie shit at him, because he says you need Chinese. To take a snake and throw it into the water or something. I don't know. You have to chop off its head or something.
You don't to scare a snake away. You got to cut the snake's head off and then throw it in the water. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like well. But yeah, in general, it's just all fucking, and there's going to be a turf war, and I thought it was, it would have been cooler if it was like a third party or something that was fucking the entire thing up, basically, by trying to get everybody to start, start a turf war.
They are the third party.
I guess, right? The triad, right? But they know.
If anything, they're the fourth party.
Yeah, because Thresher is kind of separate from them in a way.
Yeah, because you've got Bevilacqua, Tulsa, New York, and thresh a Chinese gang.
Yeah. Another thing is that they're trying to there's a coup happening in New York where they're setting up the other families to.
Yeah, they've set it up a little while ago. You knew it was coming.
Yeah, but he met with all the other mafiosos in a thing to have a conversation about what should we do with Chicky. We're like, oh, let's whack him.
We're pretty sure he killed his dad.
Yeah,
which is a big thumbs down in the mob.
You don't kill your dads.
That's very heavy discourse in the mob community. In the mob fandom, that's very heavy discourse.
Yeah, you don't mention that stuff. Around them.
Yeah, that's like a real. Yeah,
it's a
real
big
heavy trigger for that fandom. You don't want to bring it up. They'll kill Chicky at the end of this season. That'll be like the last episode. They'll maybe the second to last episode. Kill him off, and then they're like, "Now I'm in charge of New York. It's a new era for New York. Going back to the good old days.
Good old days.
Back when the Italian mob wasn't a thing for like TVs and movies, and people will go, "Hey, forget about it."
Yeah, we're going back to the hardcore mob where we're like
going back to
killing
when people
constantly.
Us.
Yeah. And stuff like that. We're no joke. We don't sell fake Ozempic. We're doing booze runs, but alcohol is legal. Well. Well,
they do sports betting. They talk
do.
about sports betting in this episode, and the Yankees keep winning, which I think is supposed to be a nod to real life because I think the Yankees are on a big streak at the moment or something. Maybe,
yeah. It's Tulsa King. They always put in a up to date little thing in the episode. And how do they do this? I thought they recorded these episodes like 3 years ago.
TV magic, man. It's TV magic.
It's TV magic. Just like that weird scene that you mentioned
television.
before we started recording.
There was a weird moment after Tyson goes to the dealership to get a car. They just play like 6 seconds of B-roll footage with like a really loud song and then cut it abruptly as soon as we go to Dwight in the bar with the two guys. And it's like... Why'd they play? It almost feels like they're trying to keep your attention,
Yeah.
Like a bit of hey, over here, buddy. Come on. It was cut in such a way. I was listening to that scene afterwards, trying to be like, is the music still playing like diegetically or something? Is there like a radio still playing the song? And it's like, no, they just cut.
Yeah.
They just cut the song and this cut the song straight to this shot. It's this scene where everybody's talking and it's like, damn, weird edit. Weird edit.
Well, everybody makes mistakes sometimes, except for Dwight, the general. Manfredi.
True. But maybe they put more mistakes in this episode to thematically tie in with Tyson making the mistake of going to try and kill Beverly.
It's like a meta-narrative in a way where like the piece of media is also like kind of struggling at the same time.
Structure
reflecting
itself is leaning into the
It's
narrative.
like Alan Wake sort of scenario.
It's a little Alan Wake to it's a little Twin Peaks The Return.
Twin Peaks.
It's a little. It's very cerebral, really, when you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when they have that one scene, because I guess everybody's every character is contractually supposed to appear in every episode to get paid. They have that one single scene in the weed bar where they're all like. Where they're all like, "What if my car blows up? Well, you can either work and I won't. You can either not work and I won't pay you, or keep working, but I'll pay for your Uber. Well, can I stop and get a salad on the way home? 'Cause I'm hungry."
Yeah.
And then they don't turn up for the rest of the episode.
Yeah,
because they're not relevant to any of the stuff that's happening.
Yeah, true.
But I guess you got to put them in. They've got it in their contract.
I wish I was one of those characters, just playing like a very weird side character that doesn't really have like a story, like the security guard guy. He's just kind of like a comic relief because he's a bit bigger,
And the other guy who I still don't know where he's from.
Guy. He's
the
a
other
weed guy. Yeah,
but I don't remember him at all from like the first season or any other episode.
I feel like he was he was definitely in the store. Like he worked in the store.
He must have been. Yeah, he must have been like on the counter or something.
But he wasn't. Like, I don't feel like he had any sort of like, because like the girl had like, she like stops being triggered and stuff like that.
Yeah, she used to be like, I'm the lib one. I'm being triggered right now. Dwight is triggering me.
Yeah, and then
Dwight needs to respect my pronouns.
Yeah, and then you had the security guard. I think he just this thing was that he was
just
going
fat guy.
Yeah, and him. I genuinely don't remember where the weed guy came from, and I feel like they just kind of forgot about him. When like, let's just put him back in, you know.
There was one very good scene in this episode that I liked a lot when Dwight goes to see Tyson's dad's friend from last episode, the guy that he was fixing his boiler or whatever. First of all, I really like Dwight has a big soft spot for the big guy, Bigfoot. He really likes him, I think. It's funny. He's like his best friend. Like especially the way the guy is acting. He's like, you want me to go up to the door? And he's like, don't take this the wrong way, but if you saw you at the front door, would you open? And the guy is like, no, I wouldn't. He just looks so like happy and sweet. He's just happy to be there, you know?
Yeah, he's like a Chewbacca to Han Solo, which is Dwight. You know?
He's a bit, They got a good thing going. I like Bigfoot a lot, but then after that, he goes up and he's like, "Oh, I'm an insurance inspector. There was a car accident in front of your car. There was a car accident in front of your house, and I noticed you got one of those ring cameras. Can I get
ring
the footage
cameras?"
off of it?
And
he's like, "Have you got any ID?" And he's like, yeah, I got 5 of them. And then he's got a big wad of like, I'm guessing $100
$100 bills probably.
And his friend is like, say no more.
Yeah. And
I was like, this is what I'm watching this show for, bro.
It's
this
a
is
stealth commercial because Ring is owned by Amazon. And they're like,
true.
if you put a Ring camera on, you can make some big ones by just recording crime and then selling it to the people that want that footage, you know? Maybe get some big ones for yourself, you know?
Does Ring work that way? Like, does it store the footage?
I think you have to select whether to react to motion or not. But a lot of the times it gets triggered when you press the button and it then records. But you can set it up as like a normal motion camera too.
Yeah.
The thing is that would be very funny if they got the footage and it was like perfect and they were like, oh, these Ring cameras are so good.
That was what I was worried. I almost thought that when he zooms in, I thought there'd be like a zoom and enhance. They didn't enhance, but it was like, it did just happen to become clearer for some reason.
Yeah.
Like he zoomed in and it was like very blurry, and then they zoomed out a bit and it was more clear than it was when they were originally zoomed in.
They get like the first 2 letters or whatever, AZ or whatever, out to register. And then Dwight just goes to harass the
driving instructor from the first
season. Yeah. And he's like, give him do
a
little thing,
nice
do a little
callback,
twirl for me.
Do a little twirl. He gets him to run the numbers, and he comes back with a couple numbers. But then when he finds out Tyson's gonna go and do in Bevilacqua, because he calls up he calls Bevilacqua, he calls New York. He's like, "Are you guys trying to blow me up?" They're like, "No."
We don't do it that way. We would have shot you in the back of the head if we wanted to take you out, which is, I don't know. It did fail before because they sent one guy to go kill Dwight while he had all of his guys around him, and they stabbed him to death, you know?
Yeah, they're not very smart.
Not very good. All of the New York guys, and even like the New York guys in Bevilacquas, they seem so weak, you know?
Yeah.
It's so strange how like non-threatening they are in a way, you know. Like, like even some of the narrative stuff makes them look so incompetent. Like there was the thing with doing the sit down when they were doing the sit down. Dwight is like to Bevilacquas. He's like you do what? Do you own any of the like trash stuff? Do you own any of this fucking Tulsa King stuff? That's the city.
Tulsa
King.
stuff, yeah.
Tulsa stuff. And he's like, no.
You have any stake in Tulsa whatsoever?
Yeah.
No, then we don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
But that's the point of the show, because Dwight is supposed to bring the old style wisdom to the younger people.
Yeah.
Supposed to show them this is how it should be done, because it's not getting done the way it should be done anymore.
Yeah.
But I did like when the FBI went and met him earlier in the episode, and they were like, "Call us if you remember anything," and he's like, I wouldn't wait by the phone," and they're like, "You're getting old, Dwight. Nobody waits by the phone anymore."
Yeah. Boo.
And it's like, it's not how metaphors. People don't get gift horses anymore either, but still
Maybe
talk about looking them in the mouth.
Maybe we should bring back
Maybe
horses.
we should be gifting horses, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah, not escalations. Not much is happening, but escalations.
A huge escalation at the end. He literally starts a war with Pepper Lugwa on his own.
It depends on what the reaction is gonna be, you know. Like,
I'm just saying, it's a good hook. It's a good hook, in my opinion. That's like, because this is like the tipping point for Tyson.
Yeah, true. But
You know?
another
This
thing
is
that I'm
like either
thinking-
Dwight is gonna have to go to war for Tyson, or he's gonna have to do something drastic, because they foreshadow it earlier on. You know, when Tyson talks to the guy, Ramy or whatever. And he says, you know, you're in his good graces now, but you would have Armand. That's it. He's in his good graces now, but you know, the moment you slip up, he's gonna be on you. Mm-hmm. You gotta be careful. You're not gonna think he's a nice, big, friendly guy anymore.
That would be so funny if, like, you know, Armand hears this and all of this shit happened, and then Dwight is like, "Oh, don't worry, Tyson. We'll do everything. We'll go to war for you." And Armand is like, "What the fuck?
Fuck.
I think he just doesn't like me."
He really doesn't like him.
He
though.
does seem like
It's because he was
doesn't
a
like-
rat, wasn't he?
He was a
Didn't
rat, yeah, because he was under.
He was a
the
snitch,
stuff.
and then he went to witness protection. And when moving to Tulsa, Dwight just so happened to find him.
Yeah, just
Like The
just
Sopranos.
the worst fucking thing in the world, honestly.
Yeah,
Just like being found again.
it's a good episode of The Sopranos like that. Where Tony is taking Meadow upstate New York to like look at some universities, and while he's driving around, he just so happens to see a guy that he's pretty sure is a guy who went missing, you know, but clearly must have gone into witness protection.
Yeah.
So he starts to wonder, like, I should probably go and kill this guy, but I'm not entirely sure that it's him, you know.
Yeah.
It's a very good episode.
So he walks out the car, gets out the car, and goes and screams his like real name, not his fake name. And he turns around and he's like, "That's good enough evidence for me," and kills him.
I can't remember if something like that happens or not, actually.
Yeah. Oh, he does the thing where I'll have 3 beers, and he does the American way instead of the European way. He's just like, that's him, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
You should watch The Sopranos, man.
I don't know.
It's good.
I don't
Maybe
know.
after Tulsa King.
Mafiosos scare me.
Maybe after Tulsa King, we can lean into that, and it can be like we watch through Sopranos.
Sopranos.
The
Maybe.
Sopranos.
We already tried to do Stargate, and
Yeah, we should get back to Stargate a little bit.
Well, you know, we
good,
don't have much to say. Like, you know, we can say, "Oh, we'll
why
do
we need
this,
Ash
we'll
on.
do that." True.
Well, that's life, isn't it? Sometimes you just sort of want to do something and then you kind of forget a
Yeah.
bit. And maybe you come back to it, maybe you don't. Who cares? You're still alive. That's the important thing. But yeah, Tulsa King. Overall, I like the episode. There was also some stuff with Dwight's relationship with the lady at the stable, the radio lady who owns the stables or whatever.
She's like, "I want to be with you."
Yeah, she wants to be with him, but she's much more clued in now that he has a very dangerous life and profession, you know? And he's kind of almost like, I don't want to get you wrapped up in it, you know?
Yeah.
Because we're both kind of, you know, we're both kind of in our golden years, our autumn years or whatever. Now's not the time to get wrapped up in it.
They have a little...
she likes it.
He says a little thing where she's like, oh, how about we go to mine, you know, after... And he goes, check, please.
Yeah.
I'm about to get my...
Mind if I do.
Get fucking, you know.
They had the agent that seemed like she was getting set up as kind of a bit of a love interest, but I guess they just kind of like whatever. She goes to Alaska.
Yeah, she could be the
ATF agent. That's it.
She could be his daughter from the age difference.
I think she's supposed to be a bit younger than his daughter.
Maybe, yeah. But the thing that I wanted to say before, it was the thing that we're near the end of the season, right?
Got 3 more episodes, 8, 9, 10, and then we're done.
And it's like, is the war going to be the next season, depending on how this ends? You know, like it did feel like the first season they did end it something. They did, you know, they took out the gang, right? They took out the evil Nazis that they were fighting. What about this season? Do you think there's going to be like another, and again it's going to be like a finish of for a story, or is it because now they know that people just love Tulsa King? People will continue watching so they can have these arcs that are longer than one season.
I'm more in the position where I think the war will brew and the war will take place over the next season more, I think.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's enough time for... I don't think he's gonna be at war with everybody. He's gonna end up on a side. Maybe he'll even end up with Bevilacqua against
the
New York and China. I feel like there's not enough info for Dwight to even really know much about the China involvement, though. I don't think he even knows that anything to do with China is involved yet, you know?
I don't think he knows at this point, unless he analyzed the situation. We don't know that he knows, you know.
It could go either way. And you know what? I'm excited to see which way it goes.
Exactly, and
I love this show. I love this show so much.
Just a few more episodes, and then is Lower Decks being made? I feel like there's some new Lower Decks episodes. I mean, I thought that show got cancelled. But this, I don't think it got
cancelled. Lower Decks. I haven't watched the more recent season, I think. There's 5 seasons.
Okay.
The fifth and the 5th and final season is being released from October to December 2024. So this is the final season of Lower Decks. I guess I should catch up.
We should catch up and talk about it. You know,
we should. You know what? I guess we fucking should, huh? I guess we fucking should.
Instead of watching fucking shitty Tulsa King.
Exactly.
We should be watching goddamn Star Trek.
We should be watching what we came here for.
Yeah. You know, where our roots are, you know? Be proud of that, you know? We lost our way, you know? We lost our way. We made the detour. We thought we went
into a different genre on Paramount Plus, and we were like, let's check this out. And we've been in the swamp of Tulsa, the Oklahoma swamp.
Yeah.
For too many years now.
Yes,
and you know what? You know what? Discovery didn't help, because you know what? The only discovery I made is that I want to stop watching it.
True.
So it pushed us further.
I don't think there's any more seasons of that. So you're done.
Yeah,
you don't have to watch any more Discovery.
But you know what? There will be plenty more seasons of is Joe Rogan Experience 2, aka Dead Ensigns. Mike may be dead, but me, Ben, and Max, we're still here.
We're alive.
And you know what? If you will still be alive on Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, and any other podcast app, anywhere that lets you save, or leave a review, any of those things is all appreciated. But if you don't really want to do that, you can also check it out on YouTube, load it up there. You can leave a comment on YouTube too, as well as subscribe and like. But if you don't even want to leave a comment there, you can email us, denensons@gmail.com. So until next time, fucking see you later. Excelsior.
Bye.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.